for me. My name is Christine Brewer and I'm a village agent in the Taunton Deane area. I work in conjunction with the Central Taunton Primary Care Network of GP surgeries. So along with our COVID-19 work, which is supporting the vulnerable people all over Somerset, I take referrals from 5 different GP surgeries in Taunton, along with 2 other primary care network agents. And we deal with referrals ranging from people needing carers to what would have been termed home helps, but they're now termed micro providers. And we also deal with more social complex problems, including debt, eviction, homelessness. People just might want some help with benefits. So a whole range of issues that we generally deal with. But right now, we are deep in helping with the COVID response. Good morning, Laura. Talking Cafe can see and hear me fine. Oh, good morning. Morning, Hazel. Now, before I start, I have been asked to pass this message on from CCS. And it is from the Devon and Somerset Fire Service, and they would like us to pass on that there is a very high risk of wildfires happening at the moment. So please don't have and encourage people not to have barbecues in the countryside. Don't leave glass bottles. They magnify in the sun and can cause fire. And take care when extinguishing cigarettes. So a few safety things to follow there, and let's hope we can keep our beautiful hills and countryside safe for us all to enjoy. I live in a village at the bottom of the Quantocks and can see Exmoor from my windows as well. So very much enjoy this countryside, but it's looking very brown at the moment. So let's pass that message on from the Devon and Somerset Fire Service. Oh, there we go. I can just do that. Morning, Pat. Morning, Mel. Morning, Carolyn. Morning, Brigitte. Oh, there's loads coming in. Fiona from Wellington. Elaine finally found me. Don't worry, Elaine. I had a problem. I was looking at all of this, and then the minute it went live, it actually cut my feed off, and I can't see myself now either. So that's just very good. Now, I will get started with my presentation. Before I start, I just want to tell those of you that don't know what Community Council for Somerset is. It's a leading charity. It works in the heart of Somerset's communities to inspire and enable positive change through passionate local experts and through diverse projects, consultancy and funding. We bring the right people and the services together and the right individuals. We help building community capacity and support emerging and existing enterprises right across Somerset. We motivate and encourage people to take action. We try and give people, especially as village agents, the information to do things themselves. So we try and be an enabler. Obviously, we do help and support, and we also try and get people to enable and do as much as they can for themselves. And we've been working in the heart of Somerset, not me personally, for 90 years now. It was CCS become part of, it was set up by DEFRA after the war, the First World War, to help people in rural communities and support them and their needs. So that's where CCS comes into being. So over time it's developed into CCS. Now today I am going to be talking about the amazing volunteers, some of who are UK-wide networks and organisations, and some who are local, some individuals, some local groups. I'll be mentioning some of these. They are amazing, selfless people. If you know any organisations or individuals that you would like mentioned, please let me know in the comments column, and I will endeavour to read them out. And we can hopefully have a little bit of discussion there as well. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Kat. And hi, Ed. And I will introduce you to Ed in a second. Just again, before I go on, I'd like you to, if you need help from an agent, please don't post it here. If it's personal help, we do not want details posted on the public comments. If you do need help and support from an agent, carers agent, community agent, whoever, you can leave a message in the message box, or you can contact us on our email on our website. Our website is www.ccslovesomerset.org.uk. If you click on the purple box and you at the top, you find it takes you to an agent, and you put in where you live, and it will then explain to you which agent covers your area. Also on there is an online request form, so you can click there and you can ask there for some help via there, and that goes through to our main database, and then somebody gives you a call back, or you can simply make a telephone call, and that is on the 01823 331 222, and that's how you get hold of us. But please do not leave your personal data or message on our comments box. Now, Anne's joined us. Thank you very much, Anne. Good morning. I'm glad you can see me. I'm glad I can't see myself. And Mel obviously knows who Ed is, so now I'm going to move on and tell you about today. I've invited a couple of people along to hopefully get involved in some of the comments. One of those is Natalie, who will be joining us from Spark Somerset, and she's coming to join the session, and she can hopefully let us know in the comments what Spark do. Please interact with Natalie and anybody else who joins in this session. Excuse me. Natalie is also one of the coordinator volunteers for the COVID-19 Facebook groups. And also joining us, who has joined us, is Ed Cullen. Now, Ed, along with his wife, has been serving meals in the community, in and around Taunton community. And I noticed last week before, he was at Musgrove Park Hospital, and he did a barbecue for all of the frontline worker groups at Musgrove Park Hospital. He is also coordinator for one of Taunton's volunteer groups. So hopefully he can, again with the comments, let us know how those volunteers have been making such a difference, because we know they have been making a massive difference, and we wouldn't be able to do our work either now or, to be honest, in our everyday work, because we rely on volunteer groups, not just now, but every day. I'm sure we all do. So what have we got? John Peter Hutchison, can you help with my project, Dorset Community People? Are you interested? I'm sure we are. So if you can give us some more details, if you could maybe email in or send a message, we can find out more about what you'd like us to do. Fiona's on here, and Carolyn's saying hello. Chrissie, can you mention P Daddy's Pop-Up Kitchen, who have been kindly donating free delicious cooked meals for residents in need of Wellington? Yes. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Fiona from P Daddy's mentioned on our Facebook Live that they had some free meals and they'd like to give them away. They are home cooked. She home cooks them with a friend, a colleague. I know that they are also going into one of the care homes, and they're donating meals into one of their care homes. And she contacted us and said there were a load more to give away. So we picked them up, and Carolyn mainly and Carrie from Taunton as well have been delivering them out, and they have been so well received, and they are apparently really delicious. They all certainly smell lovely. There's the Love Somerset link over there. Ed's got a real fan base going, hasn't he? Now, I mentioned Spark, and I've lost my page. Bear with me. I mentioned Spark. Spark offers support and guidance and training to charities and local community groups. It also runs a volunteer service. It is able to help with funding opportunities and signposts to a host of grants and awards and including grants that you can get through the Somerset Community Foundation. I had to look on this site and where the awards that volunteer groups can get, and I could give you a couple of examples, but there are loads, tens and tens and tens and tens of awards and funds and grants that they have access to, and they help with community projects, village hall projects, and they are invaluable. Personally, I have been involved with setting up a Good Neighbour scheme, which I'll talk about later, and I contacted somebody at Spark, and they are providing for us a reduced rate for our DBS for our volunteers. So they are brilliant. Hopefully Natalie will be able to join us, but if not, have a look on their website. It's really good. They've got loads of information, and yeah, and encourage volunteers. Yeah, get on. Right, Carolyn, one of our village agents, who also asked me to mention the P Diddy Daddy meals, has also asked me to mention Wellington Coronavirus Volunteer Group. They've been doing a fantastic job, going over and above what is expected of them in order to promote safety and well-being of vulnerable local residents. Special mention to Meg, who is our group coordinator, who, along with arranging food shops and welfare calls, is taking it one step further. And where she can see people struggling, she gets their consent, and then she's signposting them to us, so we can then get involved and help them further, which is absolutely brilliant, because that's exactly what we want people to do. We need to know what people out there are struggling and need our help. Also in Wellington, a special thanks goes to Andrew Govia. He has shown kindness and courage. Without hesitation, he answered an urgent call for help for a family who needed furniture moving, for hospital bed to be delivered for an end-of-life patient. And although Andrew did that brilliantly, within 10 minutes of Meg in Wellington putting that on, at least 3 other volunteers had offered to help. So they really have got an amazing group of volunteers out there. I'm sure we all have. I certainly know where I live, in Bishop's Lydeard. They're just superb. They're brilliant. The other thing that I know, and hopefully Carolyn might put on a little bit more, is that and I'm sure this, and I know it's a free service, and I'm pretty sure it's a volunteer service, but Wellington pick up and deliver from all of their pharmacies. So nobody has to run around getting their own prescriptions and medications in Wellington. So hopefully Carolyn can write on here and let us know if that is still going. Right. Thank you, Ed, and all your amazing volunteers Hazel's put on. Ed, you're more than welcome. It's my pleasure to be able to help. My part is easy, and my wife Jackie does all the cooking. Yeah, I'd noticed. That had gone unnoticed, but who's doing the washing up? And Fiona also says you're more than welcome. Brilliant, Fiona. We wouldn't have known about that, and your offer of help was brilliant, and that came through a talking cafe. John Peter Hutchison says have a Facebook page. Brilliant. If you can sort out the link, that would be lovely. And Hannah's put on about this Spark volunteer service. Ed, if you can make some comments about your volunteers, that would be brilliant, because we're doing this week for the volunteer week. Brilliant time to be thanking all our volunteers, and it's a shame really that Clap for Carers has stopped on Thursday, because it's volunteer week. I think we should be out there clapping for all of our volunteers on Thursday. Another organisation I'd like to mention, which is a local one, is Taunton Open Door. It's an organisation that helps support the homeless in the Taunton area. They rely on volunteers for help and support, and they are extremely busy at the moment. They have volunteers who cook meals, they befriend, they do some tutoring, and they can offer practical advice and so much more. At the moment, the homeless are being looked after in Taunton, that is, in emergency accommodation in halls of residence, and the volunteers are cooking meals at their normal base, and then they're transporting them out to where the halls of residence are. What I didn't know until I looked a bit further the other day is that the volunteers, they're cooking the main meal each day and transporting it, and in between that, the Salvation Army is then providing breakfast and afternoon tea and supper, which is, again, just amazing when you think also just how much the cost of that is, as well as because they're running food banks as well, and helping just as much in the community, and then they're doing this as well. If you want to know a little bit more about volunteering for Open Door, their website is www.opendoor.org.uk. Excuse me. I just got my hands here. What I was interested to hear, not necessarily to do with the volunteers, although some volunteers are the ones going in, that they've been able to really support these homeless people so much more now they have them in the halls of residence, because they're able to get support for addiction in there. People are being encouraged with their learning, and so hopefully something really positive will come out of what has been, obviously a really sad situation. Let's have another look now. Wellington Angels have been a wonderful source for those in need. Fiona, yes, it is the pharmacy delivery part of Wellington Angels. Right, so Wellington Angels are doing the pharmacy. Oh, and Fiona, right, the other way around. Hubby is a chef. I just supervise. Well done. I still want to know who's doing the washing up. And Carolyn has put Wellington volunteer prescription delivery is definitely still going, and big thanks to Stephen Ward and Andrew Govia. That's right, I thought his name was Stephen, for organising this in Wellington in partnership with the 4 pharmacies. Still going, delivering 6 days a week. See if I can read the rest of that. Averaging 60 deliveries or more. Okay. Oh, no, I haven't got hay fever. No. I took my hay fever tablet before this to hopefully stop. Right, that's the last of comments for a little while, so I go on to the next bit. Right. As I said a little bit of a while ago, another really good scheme for volunteering is the Good Neighbours scheme. We heard yesterday from Jane in West Somerset that they've got quite a few Good Neighbours schemes set up over in West Somerset, and we want to expand on that, and myself and my colleagues are looking for communities in Somerset that would be interested in starting up a Good Neighbours scheme. What I'm doing at the moment, as I live in Bishop's Lydeard, and along with volunteers here, I am helping to set up a Good Neighbours scheme. What we're going to do here is we are expanding it to Cotford St Luke, because Bishop's Lydeard isn't a huge village. Cotford is smaller, and we're hoping to also include a couple of the other surrounding even smaller villages, so like Brewer, Hulse, Ash, Priors, if they want to get involved. So we're going to call our scheme the Bishop's Lydeard and District Good Neighbours Scheme. We have so far ready to go. At the moment, we've got at least 40 volunteers ready to go. So that is superb. And most of that is on the back of these people volunteering for the COVID-19. And obviously some are going back to work, but they can still offer something in an evening, or they may be working 2 or 3 days a week, so they've got some more time off. And a Good Neighbours scheme uses volunteers to really take over where COVID-19 is going to finish. So taking people in their cars to appointments, maybe being able to do more in the house, befriending somebody, having a chat, maybe doing a little bit of gardening, all sorts of things that people need help with. Spark are very kindly, we're going to do our DBS through Spark, who I mentioned earlier, so we can get the volunteers who need DBS, we can get them done for a much reduced rate. And now we're just doing the process now of setting up like the insurance that you need. But There is a Good Neighbours leaflet that is on, you can access through the Love Somerset site, and it gives you all the information on how you set it up, and it's really quite straightforward. These groups are amazing for supporting the local communities, and especially for those that live in areas that can't get onto public transport or don't have them, as a lot of our villages don't have them, and they feel very isolated. And even in what we would show in the middle of town, you only have to live, say in Gamington or it doesn't matter where you live, Gamington, Troll, wherever. If you can't get on a bus, then you can't get out. And that's when you're going to need a good neighbour. And how are we doing down here? Ed, we have a group of 22 volunteers in the Blackbrook group alone, and once we get a request, it is normally answered within an hour. Wow. Including deliveries. What some of you won't know is that I host a Veterans Breakfast Club at 5 weeks. I do know that. Oh, I didn't know it was veterans though. Let's see if I can click onto more. I can't click onto the more button and see what else you've written there, but everybody else can. At 5 Golf Club. Is that just for people that play golf, or is that for anybody that can turn up? There's a Good Neighbour scheme just popped up. And Kat has put the Wiveliscombe and 10 parishes community support. They have 150 volunteers. And Kat has put their telephone number there. And these comments should stay on. Dog walking, yeah, that's another one, isn't it, that people can be doing. Fiona is interested in setting up a Good Neighbour scheme in Wellington. There you go, Carolyn. Can it work in partnership with the Wellington Angels? Well, I'm sure it can. We will find out. Hazel says drop us a message. Yeah. Ooh. Sorry, excuse me. I have done something here. Oh well. Okay, on to my next. How are we doing? We're doing all right. Food banks. Where would we be without food banks? We have got the most amazing volunteers who work at the food banks in our area. Our main one in this area is Taunton, and a really big shout out to the team there because they have just been absolutely working non-stop. We can obviously normally we would take people into there. We do referrals for there, and we can do online referrals now. And then from that online referral, food is getting delivered. It is amazing, and what they're doing is awe-inspiring. But food banks can also be found everywhere. So, for instance, Wiveliscombe, Bridgewater, Cheddar, Minehead, Willerton, Glastonbury, Wells. The list goes on. Dulverton. I'm not too sure anymore what else is over there, but they are everywhere, and they have been so used and so needed, especially at the moment because families have had children at home. I have got an older child at home who's in his 20s, and he has come home during this lockdown period, and it's like having a locust in the house, and you forget how much they eat and how much your food bill suddenly shoots up when your children are around. What have we got here? Carrickor. There's a list of local support groups on Corona Community Help Taunton Facebook page. Thank you. All veterans and Vivry Golf Club. It's open to the public, not just golfers. Excellent. My stream is... Okay, I'll see that again. Right. We're very aware at the moment of mental health, and another group of volunteers I'd like to mention is Mind. They continue to support people at home, but importantly at this time they're there to phone and to talk to the lonely, somebody suffering from mental distress and in real need of emotional support. And as the weeks have gone on, that has become more and more important to them. If you feel you need to find some support for somebody, or you could be a volunteer for Mind, again, I looked on the website and there's a link you can go to. You need to have patience and empathy and understanding, and have the time to sit for, it says, about 30 minutes, to have a chat to somebody on the phone for about 30 minutes. And those volunteers have been invaluable to Mind, and their website is www.mindinsomerset.org.uk. I'm just trying to read my my comments. Hopefully you can see them all, because mine is coming up a little bit slowly at the moment. Okay, where have I got to? Brilliant. I'm glad you're having a nice little chat over in the comments page. A big thank you is going to go out to Karen Ball. Karen Ball is from Healthwatch Somerset, who wanted to volunteer during these times, and she now telephones the vulnerable to help them combat isolation and loneliness. She aims to have a good light-hearted chat and hopefully brighten somebody's day a little bit. And again, that has been an invaluable service. Hopefully now people are allowed to have a member of their family, social distancing, but in their garden, to come and see them is going to make such a difference to those people shielding. I certainly have a sister who is shielding, and hi Anne, and she's been there since the beginning of March, and to be by yourself and to go through this time, it's just been so hard. And it's great that we've got Facebook and Zoom and all these other ways, but a lot of the elderly just don't have that, and so they don't have that connection, so have a chat on the phone is excellent. What have we got here? Oh, yeah, Ed's having a good discussion there. Somebody's going to be more than welcome. First Sunday of every month, get him to join us on Facebook. Talking Cafe says Mind in Somerset are supporting people at home with phone calls and emotional support. Yeah. Lovely village agent breakfast then, Ed. Yes, that would be good. We could come a bit earlier and then we could all be there, or maybe in the week. There's the Mind in Somerset link gone up. Now, the next people I've been asked to mention is Wivy Cares. Wivy Cares is a trustee-led group based in Wiveliscombe. It relies heavily on volunteers to help and support the local community. They have been invaluable during this time. On top of their usual community support, they've been organising much more in the way of shopping and pharmacy pickups. And obviously, being in Wiveliscombe, it's not easy. If you happen to, you might be in Milverton and your GP's in Wiveliscombe, so their distances can be a lot further to go and get their medications. And they have been a huge help in Wiveliscombe, I know. And Kat is out, our agent is out in Wiveliscombe, and she covers that area, and I know she and I have used Wivy Cares as well in the past. They have come out and they fill in attendance allowance forms for people, obviously not at the moment, although they can help over the phone, but when this is over and before that, they will go out to a client's house for you and for them, and they will help fill in that 40-page form and know exactly how to do it. So they have been a really good support to myself and to a lot of others. Mel says massive thank you to everybody at the food banks. Now, I've been having some fun on the website in the last few days, and one of the places that I've really enjoyed looking at is the site for the RVS, the Royal Voluntary Service, which used to be called the Women's Royal Voluntary Service, and clearly now it's not just women. This amazing organisation is celebrating 82 years supporting and helping communities in so many different ways, including the well-known hospital shops and trolleys that we have all used and very much appreciated. And for many, many years now, I used to be a nurse, and the hospital trolley shop was a joy when that used to come round, and you could fill your pockets with sweets and mints and it would get you through the day. At the moment, they are running a virtual village halls site, and I hope it carries on as well. And it's brilliant. You can find them online and via Facebook. They have a range of topics and classes and short films. So there's classes waiting for you. So although it says for, some of them are live, you can join in, and what they've done, they've made these videos. So there's classes in topics such as floristry, Zumba, baking, technology, how to make like work. So I'm sure that somebody else might have been able to make sure this camera worked for me. I went on again yesterday and I had to force myself off because there's so much to watch. What I found really interesting last night was I was watching a film on what was the WRVS at that time during the war, and it was filmed during the war and their role then, and it was really interesting. So if you have got somebody that has got access to the web, get them to go on and have a look, and you could fill hours, and that is all for, you know, all those volunteers, and the amazing number of volunteers they've got. So a big shout out to them. How are we doing with any more? Are you on a good neighbour scheme, May? If not, drop us a message and we will support you to do this. Yes, that's a really good idea. I am finding my stream is going really slowly for your comments, but don't worry. I'm going to mention a little bit more. Our Talking Cafes. We run every day, Monday to Friday. Monday is run by the West Somerset team. Tuesday is the Taunton team. And Wednesday, so tomorrow, will be the team from Mendip. Thursday is run by the team from Sedgemoor. And Friday is from the South Somerset team. So you get somebody different every day. This week, everybody's talking about the volunteers. And celebrating those volunteers. And as I say, I might just go and have a clap anyway for all of our volunteers in Bishop's Lydeard, or maybe and the whole of Taunton, and maybe we could have one big clap on our social distance on our playing field over here on Thursday evening for all of our volunteers. There we go. Ed Cullen, sounds like a plan. Doing Good Neighbours scheme. If you do know anybody that would use a Good Neighbours scheme, please get in touch with the CCS. They're really good schemes. So West Somerset have really got them up and running, and to be able to go on the back of what we've already been doing with COVID would be brilliant. Bear in mind there. Oh, now I can see. Mardline's emotional support number, Carrie's put that on. Oh, I can catch up now. Carrie says, many thanks to Milverton Stores. Oh, I might have just gone. I don't know, I think you can still see me. Something's happened to my computer, but my camera's still on, so hopefully you're still seeing me. And I'm just going down my comments here. There's a voluntary and community sector newsletter released today from our Somerset Carer Service. Yes, there is. Hopefully that's on our website. Hopefully you're all still seeing me. Virtual Village Hall, that's been put on by the WRVS. And Mel has put a big thank you to the volunteer Rachel Parish from Stoke St Gregory, providing hot meals in the Rooston and in Henlade, in that area. Mel says we can still see you. Excellent. Still with us. Right, I have gone through my list of everybody that I'd made a note of for volunteers. So keep them coming for fight. Oh, Jackie's online. Jackie Cullen, the cook, the chef. Brilliant. Well done, Jackie. Doing that amount of meals, especially in this hot weather as well, must be absolutely draining. And the barbecues. Who cooks the barbecues when you do the barbecues? Ed or you, Jackie? I'm doing a barbecue later, and I have got 2 men in my household, and I will be doing the barbecue. And usually end up doing the dishwasher and the washing up as well. But maybe I can just get away with doing the barbecue today. We'll see. I get a lot of suggestions, however, as the barbecue is going, but never sort of like any takeover to do it. Well, I think that might be. Does anybody else want to mention anything else? Oh, that's Ed's job. Yes, Ed's job barbecue. That would be so good. You've got a really large barbecue as well. I saw that when I saw you on at Musgrove, and I saw your sign at Musgrove. So I'm going to sign off now. I know I was a bit late coming on, and I apologise for that. I was all up and ready, and then it all went a bit wrong to start with. But it is 11:45, and I know a lot of you have got places to go and things to sort out. So again, a big thank you to all of our volunteers. Thank you very much for people who joined us and hopefully made some connections. Remember, all of our agents are out there just a phone call away and can help with a wide range of issues and concerns you may have, and we can put you in touch with a host of organisations and individuals that might be able to help you. Very quickly, thank you to Claire Naylor in Trinity, Federica, our council leader. She has been invaluable, and all the other volunteers. Enjoy the rest of your the rest of your day. Enjoy the sun. The weather is not going to be quite so good after today for a few days. At least it means we might get some better sleep. Stay safe and take care. Bye for now.